I'm an unk, so the products that I grew up with were in the 90s and early 2000s. In the 90s, we had the N64, Tamagotchis.
The Game Boy.
Yeah, the Game Boy Color, just to name a few, And around the turn of the millennia, we had the iconic iMac with color transparent plastic casing. The products in that era were just exploding with personality. Everything was polarizing, edgy, unapologetic, but at the same time, optimistic, vibrant, and most importantly, felt alive. Anyone who lived through that era can relate to this unique period in the early to mid 2000s where that same relationship we had with physical products made its way into the digital world. The internet was still relatively new and we were exploring and just trying to figure it out. Websites all felt raw, imperfect, and intimately different from one to the next. And when Windows XP released, there was this shift toward futurism in the digital world. Website graphics, illustrations, the typography began to kind of embrace this visual language that the Windows XP operating system had. There was, bright colors, bubbly buttons, glossy surfaces, and soft rounded edges. By the mid-2000s, that style evolved even further into this eco-utopian world where crystal clear water, polished glass, lush vegetation, and fish and dolphins, even futuristic cities were all kind of existing together in this perfect harmony in digital space. This aesthetic genre is often referred to as Frutiger Aero, which is originally coined by Sophie Lee from the Consumer Aesthetics Research Institute. If you ever want to discover and learn about other aesthetic categories, I would highly recommend checking them out. Whatever you choose to call it, this aesthetic became the inspiration behind Aquifer, a new colorway to join our Si75 keyboard collection. We wanted to pull some of those familiar Frutiger Aero design elements out of that digital archive and bring it into the physical world with a modern application. And we decided to do that for our high-performance Hall Effect keyboard. We used a semi-transparent ABS material for the case to bring a strong reference to water and the ocean. The transparency allows light to pass through and reveal some of those components underneath. So we use a pale green plate and matching silicone parts to create a layered effect. That combination of translucent blue and soft green helps to recreate one of the most recognizable parts of the Frutiger Aero aesthetic. Water, sky, grass, plant life, all kind of blending together in this slightly surreal but unexpected ways. For the keycaps, we made this deliberate choice to opt out of the cherry profile and use CSA instead. The CSA keycaps have this taller profile and are more sculpted with rounded edges that kind of cascade over the sides, and they have these shallow grooves on the surface that gently cradle your fingertips for more comfortable typing feel. Those rounded features, we think, really reinforce that aesthetic influence. For the typeface, we used Arial Rounded, which we centered in the middle of the keycap. We felt that this combination was inviting and helped pronounce the bubbly feel of the keycaps, and on its own had this retro nostalgic feel to it. Beyond that, we intentionally kept the keycaps fairly simple and understated. We wanted the shapes of the keycaps, the transparency of the case, and the subtle layers of color to do most of the talking. Aquifer is our attempt to bring some of those emotions back to the surface, even if it's only for a small fleeting moment when you glance down at your keyboard. We hope that this sparks some of that nostalgia that inspired us at ONEofZERO.